Hello friends, thank you for joining me on this video today. My name is Sabrina and I make pottery. So today I'm going to be throwing a 3-pound ball of clay. This video is also very exciting because I have a light which is shining quite brightly in front of me. Hopefully it looks a little bit better and you can tell the difference. I am recording this at 6 o'clock at night. We just had daylight savings time. For whatever reason, we have to continue doing that. But it's about 6 o'clock and it's pitch black outside. Usually that would mean I'm not able to film, but since I have this lovely LED light, I can film whatever I want now, which is awesome. In addition to this new light, I also have a tapestry behind me now because I know that the paint on the wall is peeling a little bit and I can't be bothered to fix that, so threw this up behind me. Hopefully that looks nice. But yeah, I'm out here working, trying to make these videos look nice for you. So let me know if you are enjoying either of those things. And I guess I will stop rambling and start throwing this pot. Let's get to it. So obviously centering a larger amount of clay is going to be more difficult than centering 1 pound of clay, but essentially, you're doing the same thing. It might just take a little bit longer. You also want to think about what kind of shape you're trying to throw when you're centering, because that's going to help you figure out what exactly you should be doing and what you want it to end up like. One way I like to think about it is that whatever width I have once I have it centered, that is pretty much the minimum width that the bottom of the pot can be. So if I wanted to make a plate, I would have this pretty low and pretty wide. If I was going to be making something skinny and tall, like a pitcher or a vase, then I would want to keep it pretty high and pretty narrow. I'm not really sure what exactly I'm going to do today. I was thinking of making a vase, but now I'm actually kind of thinking I'll do a plate, even though that sounds complicated while talking. But that's what we're going to do. Let's see how it goes. Cross your fingers, everybody. Alright, so I still want to cone it up and down a few times just to kind of compress everything, hopefully get rid of some air bubbles that might be in here. Also different from the last video, this clay is, it's a white stoneware from Amico. The firing range is cone 5 to cone 10, so it can get pretty hot. It's not my favorite clay, it gets kind of sludgy pretty quick, but I don't know. I haven't really learned how to throw without making a complete mess all the time, which I guess isn't the worst problem to have, but it's something I would like to improve on. But yeah, so this clay is just a little bit different to work with. I don't like it quite as much as the speckled buff, but I do enjoy having the white clay to work with. It's a lot easier to paint on. So I'm also trying to keep in mind how tall of a foot I want my plate to have, and also how wide of a, eating surface I want my plate to have, because both of those things are going to have to be decided right around now. So 3 pounds is pretty standard for a plate. I feel like that's what most people would say that a plate should be thrown with. At least like a good sized plate that you can have a real nice meal on. One of the main differences with plates is that you trim a lot of clay off the bottom, because if you look at the bottom of a plate, there's a nice little tiny foot on the bottom and then a nice curve going on up. And so that is all attained through trimming. So you want to leave quite a bit on the bottom so that you can trim it all away and have that nice foot. So I'm kind of still centering, not really, but I'm kind of just compressing the top of this, trying to get a nice smooth surface to start with. And then I'm going to be opening it up like I would any other pot. It's always a good idea to kind of clean up your workspace, and trying to get rid of some of the sludge helps keep it a little more sturdy. And you want to hit it with some water, and then I'm just gonna go down in the middle and pull it towards me until I get to about here, and then that's gonna leave a nice little lip here for me to start pulling up. I'm also gonna slow down the wheel a little bit. I don't know why this sponge is the worst now. I think it's seen too much stuff in its day. It's ready to retire. But that's okay. That's what hands are for. There's kind of an air bubble going on over here. I'm going to try and fix that. Wish me luck. I'm just gonna take my pen tool here and check the width of this. Alright, so I don't know if you can see that at all, but it's like 3/4 of an inch. That's pretty good. So then I just want to compress this. One of the things that happens a lot of times with plates is they will get what's called an S crack, which is just an S-shaped crack right in the middle there, which kind of just happens when the pot warps. And warping is when, you know, you want it to be flat, but it's not flat, which happens if it's dried improperly, like if it's dried too fast or it's dried too slow, or, you know, this half of the pot gets dried too quickly, this half doesn't, and then cracks can occur, which is obviously not good. And also, just if you're eating off of something, you generally want a smooth surface, so, you know, you have like a nice sauce on here, it's gonna stay nice and even and not just completely, you know, fall to one side. So it's good to take your time compressing, go back and forth, get a nice smooth surface going on. I like throwing plates a lot because they just look so different from all the other pots that you see. You know, you see people pulling up, but a plate is like a whole new thing. Alright. So now I'm actually going to start pulling up this wall a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of got my fingers under here, I'm going to be squeezing in, and then with my left hand I'm going to be squeezing in towards my right hand and just kind of creating a little wall here. Alright. I think I can go a little thinner here, a little wider, so I'm just gonna... And then I kind of just want to pull the wall straight upwards, not really out to the side too much yet, but just, I want to extend the wall. And anytime you are pulling and you're getting towards the rim of the pot, you usually want to, you know, use a little less pressure just so you're not like squeezing the end of it off, because that tends to happen a lot. I'm very excited because today I was looking at a studio space, actually. I have been thinking about finding a studio space outside of my house for a while now, which is funny since the last video I posted was a home studio tour. Which, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. I have definitely made it work and enjoyed it, but there are some things that would be nice to have, like a sink and heat, and being away from my cats would be kind of good. Maybe not for my emotional stability to be away from them, but for the sake of my pottery, I think it might be beneficial. And just like being a part of a larger art community instead of just, you know, working alone in the studio. Like, I consider myself pretty introverted, but I did enjoy that aspect of school, you know, being surrounded by people who are all kind of doing the same thing, and you can bounce ideas off each other and just have like a nice positive energy going around, you know, and like art shows and all of that fun stuff. I really enjoy those things, and I'm thinking about renting a space elsewhere, and I think it'd be really fun. So now I am kind of starting to pull the lip outwards and this direction. I just want to make sure it's nice and thin because I'm not going to be able to trim this part, and so I want to throw it as thin as I would like it to be ideally. I don't want to speak too soon, but this plate is looking pretty good. I would definitely eat something good off of it. It's got a nice size to it. I don't throw with larger amounts of clay a whole lot. You know, I like making mugs, and those are pretty small most of the time. So, you know, every once in a while I'll randomly make a plate, but if it's only like a 1.5 pound plate, then it ends up being more of a, you know, a dessert plate, and I'm looking for a nice plate like this. So I'm just going back in, compressing this, making sure it's nice and flat. Also, please let me know if you enjoy this angle of just seeing what I'm doing on the wheel, or if you like to see my face also. It's kind of difficult to get both in the shot at the same time, so I guess let me know what you would rather see. I won't be offended if it's not my face. So I think I am just going with my finger underneath this and kind of scraping away some of the excess clay that I know is just gonna get trimmed away later. There are some nice little throwing lines in here. I kind of want it to be a little more smooth. Compress the rim because you never want to forget to do that. That also can lead to cracking if you don't. So I'm actually pretty happy with how this is looking. I'm going to grab my wire tool here. And this is usually where things go wrong for me when it comes to plates. So I'm gonna try my best. My wire tool is also like coming apart at the end, so there's just little tiny wires that are hanging out, and they hurt, so I need to get a new one of these. Alright, so now I'm actually going to let this sit here for a while, because if I try and take it off the wheel right now, it is going to be way too wet and flimsy to have any standing chance in life. And so I think if I let it sit here for a while, then try and pick it up, I think we might be in for a better time. I thought I would also show you real quick what it looks like from my angle. It's a pretty nice sized plate. Here's my hand right above it. So seems like a good size to me. Yep, like I said, I'm gonna let it dry up a little bit, and hopefully that will allow me to save it. If not, then, you know, there's always the next one. But I'm gonna leave you guys here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you would like to know when I post my next video, which should be next Wednesday. I am trying really hard to stay consistent. I'm gonna come out with that good pottery content. Alright, I'm going to stop talking now. I'm rambling, and I can tell. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time!